It's Mrs. Painter here to talk to you about your memories. So, today's lesson is all about memories and sleep. On your PowerPoint, there is a number that I put on there, and what I want you to do is I want you to look at it for 1 minute and then go to the next slide and see. The whole point is to see how much of it you can remember. But be fair and honest and only give yourself 1 minute and go from there, okay? Memories are essentially your brain's ability to store and retrieve information, okay? Your brain stores tons of information. In fact, I have a little visual here for you that says that our brain takes in over 400 billion bits of information, okay? But it's only aware of 4,000 of that 4 million or 400 million. So that's really an infinitesimally small number, okay, compared to what you're actually taking in. And so your memory is not just your ability to take in the information, it's your ability to retrieve that information. And I have some videos in the PowerPoint for you to watch about how your brain does this, okay? But essentially there's two types of memory that you need to know about. There's the short-term memory and then there's your long-term memory. And within long-term memory, there are two different types of long-term memory, okay? So short-term memory is the stuff that you just store temporarily. It's like, I need to go to the grocery store and pick up eggs, milk, and bread. And so I can remember that for the, half hour it takes me to get to the store and get the stuff and come back. But I may not remember a week from now what I went to the store to get a week ago, okay? So it's just the things that you do short-term. So like, memorizing a number for like writing down like the Zoom number so that you can remember how to log in, right? You store it for that moment, you type it in, but then 2 days from now, if it's the same number that you got to log on to, you might not remember. You might have to look it up again, okay? Do that enough times though, and that memory can get moved from your short-term memory into your long-term memory. Long-term memory is information that can be stored for months or even years, okay? It's the things that you just have up there that like people's names, etc. Interestingly enough, I've had a couple of kids from last year who still come up and tell me that number from that was at the beginning of the PowerPoint, because they took that number and they saved it into their long-term memory storage. Okay, so there's two types of long-term memory storage. There's declarative memories. These are facts, okay? Like you're learning in science right now, and if you take the things that you're learning about the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system and you lock them up here and you put them in your long-term memory, then next year if I ask you a question, you'd be able to remember it, okay? Short-term memory is like, I'm going to learn these things and only learn them long enough to keep them in my head till the test, right? Which I know none of you do. None of you. But anyways, your long-term memory is stuff that you can retrieve later on down the road. So declarative memories, are your facts, specific things that you remember, like memories of vacations and whatnot. Procedural memories are recalling processes. So for example, you ride your bike, okay? Once you've learned how to ride your bike, let's say you go for 2 years without ever riding your bike. You get your bike out and decide, I'm going to go for a bike ride. Do you have to reteach yourself how to ride a bike? No, it's inherently inside of you. It's something and it's just in your brain. It's a procedural long-term memory, okay? So we've got short-term, long-term, and then under long-term, we've got declarative and procedural. Those are your two types of memories, okay? Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is sleep, okay? Sleep is really, really important, okay? This is a great opportunity, you guys, to get some extra sleep over these last couple of weeks. Sleep is really important because it helps to restore your brain to where it was, okay? So there are 3 different phases of sleep. There's light sleep, deep sleep, and REM, okay? We're going to kind of go through what those are. So with light sleep, that's when you're like initially starting to fall asleep, okay? You're like sort of in and out of sleep. It's really like, it's your autonomic nervous system slowing down your heart rate and your breathing, okay? And then once you get, after you're in the light sleep, then you go into a deep sleep, okay? This is where your body becomes really relaxed, and waking out of deep sleep can be really difficult, okay? People go back and forth between light sleep and deep sleep pretty much the whole night, okay? But then there's also this other stage, and it's called REM. REM stands for it's REM, literally, stands for rapid eye movement sleep, okay? This sleep helps your brain to develop, and it helps your brain to kind of sort through and organize the information that it received during the day, okay? And obviously when it happens, your eyelids actually are rapidly moving, okay? Their muscles can twitch, and your brain seems to be active as if you're actually awake. And if you have a dog, you've probably seen your dog in REM sleep, right? They're laying there on the couch and their eyes start twitching and their body starts twitching a little bit, and they might like be kicking or whatever, and they seem kind of active, okay? That's that rapid eye movement sleep, okay? They think that it really helps when you're going through this rapid eye movement. It helps your brain to develop, okay? So babies spend 50% of their sleep in this REM stage, okay? Which is really important because babies' brains need to develop like when they're first born, okay? There is EEGs, are a type of device that is used to kind of watch what happens when your brain is sleeping. Okay, it's called an electroencephalograph, and I'm sure I probably just totally botched how to say that. Okay, but it essentially watches the sleep patterns and whatnot. Now, sleep in your teen years is really important. You should be getting like 10 hours of sleep a night. So if you're not, you need to work on that. Because sleep helps you to remember. Sleep is connected to your memory. So if you want your memory to improve, you need to improve your sleep. That's actually probably the best thing you can do. Apart from, you do your studying, but then don't continue studying and cram and cram and cram. Go get a good night's sleep. And then in the morning, that information you studied previously will be there for you. And there's a video on your PowerPoint about how sleep helps you to remember. So don't forget to sleep. Okay? Activity manual pages for this are found on page 233. And then there's 234. I am going to make extra credit. If you want to do it, go ahead. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. And then 235 and 236 are all about understanding graphs. Okay, I do want you to do that. So there's 3 pages for today. I know that seems like a lot. For sure do page 233. 234 is optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. And then the graphing ones aren't going to take very long, but you have to look at the graph and answer the questions based off of that. There's 2 different graphs, okay? So 235 and 236. All right, guys, good luck. Call me or text me if you have any questions. And don't forget to do your reading, 252 to 255, okay? Bye, guys.